Welcome to What You Missed Today from Voice of Emirates, an AI-powered daily news bulletin where we bring you a concise roundup of the top stories we have covered since this morning. From local, Arab and international news to economy, entertainment, sports and lifestyle. I'm the virtual presenter for Voice of Emirates. Now, let's begin with the highlights of what you may have missed today. The Gulf Cooperation Council has praised the UAE's diplomatic and humanitarian efforts following another successful prisoner exchange between Russia and Ukraine. The UAE-mediated deal secured the release of 206 captives, with 103 from each side. GCC Secretary-General Jassim Mohammed Al-Budaiwi said the achievement reflects the UAE's commitment to diplomacy and easing human suffering. The latest operation marks the UAE's 26th successful mediation, bringing the total number of captives exchanged through its efforts to nearly 8,000. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned Syria against allowing a Turkish military buildup that Israel considers a threat to its security. His comments followed Israeli strikes on the Abu al-Duhur airbase in northwest Syria, which Israel says was linked to a possible Turkish troop deployment. Turkey rejected the allegations and condemned the strikes, while Damascus called the attack a violation of Syrian sovereignty. The escalating dispute highlights growing tensions between Israel and Turkey over their competing interests in Syria. UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk has urged the United States to lift new sanctions imposed on senior International Criminal Court officials. The measures target ICC President Tomoko Akane and prosecution official Abdoulaye Seye. Turk described the sanctions as unacceptable and called on countries to protect court personnel from reprisals. The ICC has also condemned the measures, warning that targeting judges and prosecutors threatens judicial independence, the rule of law, and the international justice system. And from the political news, former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett has unveiled a new security doctrine, warning that any Hezbollah attack on Israel would trigger direct retaliation against Iran. Bennett said attacks by Iranian proxies should carry consequences inside Iranian territory. He also called for Qatar to be designated an enemy state and proposed removing Qatar and Turkey from any role in Gaza, replacing them with Egypt, while maintaining Israel's military freedom of action in the territory. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun says reconstruction and rebuilding state institutions will be Lebanon's biggest challenges in the next phase. Speaking during a meeting with the National Council for Scientific Research, Aoun said the government will work to strengthen state institutions while addressing the situation in southern Lebanon. He stressed that reconstruction must follow Israel's withdrawal from occupied towns and villages and the deployment of the Lebanese army to the border, describing state building as a shared national responsibility. The race for the White House in 2028 may already be taking shape. While no clear frontrunner has emerged, potential Republican and Democratic contenders are quietly building national profiles, donor networks, and political alliances. Names including J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio are drawing attention on the Republican side, while several Democratic governors and senators are positioning themselves for a possible run. But with the 2026 midterms still ahead, the candidate who ultimately dominates the race may not yet be the most obvious name. And from the business news, inflation is putting renewed pressure on British households, rising to 2.9% in July from 2.6% in June, its highest level in 4 months. Official data shows the increase was driven largely by household energy costs after Ofgem raised its energy price cap by 13%. Continued conflict involving Iran is adding further uncertainty to global energy markets, with oil prices remaining elevated. The renewed inflation squeeze complicates Prime Minister Andy Burnham's efforts to ease living costs and boost economic growth, while the Bank of England faces growing pressure over the future direction of interest rates. Gold prices surged more than 4%, climbing above $4,500 an ounce, as falling U.S. Treasury yields and a weaker dollar boosted demand for the precious metal. The rally followed an unexpected decision by the U.S. Treasury to at least double its liquidity support buybacks of longer-dated government bonds, pushing the 30-year yield toward 5.2%. Lower yields make non-interest-bearing gold more attractive to investors, while dollar weakness provides additional support. Silver also rallied above $66 an ounce as precious metals benefited from the sharp reversal in U.S. bond markets. Commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz remains sharply reduced as most shipowners continue to avoid the strategic waterway amid uncertainty over its reopening. Data from Kepler showed only 6 commodity vessels crossed the strait on Tuesday, down from 9 a day earlier and below the 10-day average of 11. The uncertainty has been fueled by conflicting statements, with U.S. President Donald Trump saying the strait is open, while Iran maintains that shipping remains blocked. Before the conflict, Hormuz carried around 1/5 of global crude oil and liquefied natural gas shipments, making continued disruption a major concern for global energy markets. And what you might missed from the art and entertainment news, Egyptian star Yasser Galal has officially announced his participation in the Ramadan 2027 drama season with a new series titled Al-Waswas. The project will consist of 15 episodes, with Galal describing it as a potential surprise for audiences next Ramadan. The series is produced by Maha Selim, who Galal praised for committing to pay public performance rights in accordance with Actors Syndicate regulations. Reports say the drama is written by Mohammed El Saouri and directed by Hisham El Rashidi, while casting for the remaining roles is currently underway. Spider-Man, Brand New Day, continues its extraordinary box office run, remaining #1 in North America for a third consecutive weekend and surpassing $2 billion worldwide. The Sony and Marvel blockbuster, starring Tom Holland, reached the milestone in just 17 days, becoming only the 8th film in history to cross the $2 billion mark and the second fastest to do so after Avengers Endgame. The film has also overtaken Spider-Man: No Way Home to become the highest-grossing Spider-Man movie ever, reinforcing the franchise's global appeal. The Off-Limits Music Festival has been postponed until 2027, with organizers canceling its planned 2026 edition in Abu Dhabi. The decision affects one of the UAE capital's major entertainment events, which has previously attracted international artists and large crowds. Organizers are expected to focus on preparing a new edition next year, with further details on the date, venue, and artist lineup to be announced later. The postponement comes during a year in which several entertainment and business events across the region have faced scheduling changes amid evolving circumstances. We conclude our roundup with the top sports news stories you might have missed. Atletico Madrid began their 2026-27 La Liga campaign with a 2-0 victory over newly promoted Malaga at the Metropolitano. After a goalless first half, substitute Kang In Lee broke the deadlock in the 71st minute, scoring a spectacular goal on his league debut for Atletico. Alex Baena then secured all 3 points with a superb free kick in the 85th minute. The match was also marked by the absence of Argentine striker Julian Alvarez, who was left out of Diego Simeone's squad as questions continue over his future and match fitness. Barcelona have retained the Joan Gamper Trophy, defeating Egyptian giants Al Ahly 2-1 at Camp Nou in their final pre-season test. Egyptian youngster Hamza Abdelkarim opened the scoring for Barcelona in the 30th minute against his former club, before Rafinha converted a penalty to double the advantage before half-time. Al Ahly responded through Ahmed Sayed Zizou in the 51st minute, keeping the contest alive. Barcelona had a late opportunity to make it 3, but Mohamed El Shenawi saved Anthony Gordon's penalty as the Catalans held on to claim their 48th Joan Gamper title. That was your roundup of what you may have missed today from Voice of Emirates. For the full stories, visit our website and follow us on social media for the latest updates. Thank you for watching. See you next time.